Speed is everything in life. It's how we're conditioned now. Go find someone that you would trade places with in the mortgage business that has the results that you want. Ask them questions, do what they say. That's the fastest way you'll succeed in this business. Getting a mortgage now is like applying for a credit card. The hardest skill that they have to acquire is how to delegate, how to properly scale, who to hire, how fast can we get this done. No one has time for bureaucracy in this marketplace.
Hi everyone, Serena Diaco here, and welcome back to the Digest by A&D Mortgage, your trusted source for insights into the mortgage industry. Today, we will be speaking about speed, focus, and control. In 2025, brokers are juggling more than ever, and success often comes down to how well you manage your time and your processes. I have joining me Amir Syed, CEO of Go Coaching, and Executive Board Member at First Home IQ, to speak about habits, tools, and systems that really move the needle. Thank you for the discussion in the comment section, and let's dive in. Hi Amir, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for being here as well. Thank you for both of us being here.
Well, we're gonna get so much knowledge from you today. Nowadays, brokers are strategists, they're advisors. What do you think about those changes, and can you identify any of them?
The cool thing is, in 20 years of doing this, I got my start in the brokerage business. The brokerage business is an incredible gateway for a lot of people that want to learn the mortgage business because they're traditionally small businesses. And growing up in a small business with my parents, they have a lot of similarities. Small business owners, they wear a ton of hats. The hardest thing that they struggle with is delegation. And so just like any entrepreneur, the hardest skill that they have to acquire is how to delegate, how to properly scale, who to hire, right? A lot of them are what to do. The most successful ones are who, not how. So when I see these brokerages, you know, it's a big topic because I read a statistic the other day that almost 30% of brokers have market share now. A lot of that has been extrinsic factors, some of it is intrinsic. What do I mean by that? And I'm going to tie it into your question. We've seen massive change post-pandemic in the mortgage business. And so retail mortgage companies, they provide a lot of resources for their loan officers, and it comes at a price, it comes at a cost. They're still using the same skills they had pandemic and pre-pandemic, so they're having a hard time selling rate. But yet you see really successful IMB loan officers that are closing a ton of loans with higher rates. They have better selling systems in place. So there's a lot of brokers that don't have good sales skills. It's a fact. Now, if they do have good sales skills, they start doing more business. Then they have the next constraint, which is scaling skills. They don't hire the right people fast enough, right? Hiring is guessing, firing is knowing, right? So they go and they hire the wrong person. And then so they're doing everything from a lead to layout call, to lock, to loan, to loyalty. They kiss a lot of frogs, they hire the wrong people, then they micromanage them, they helicopter manage them. They know how to create processes in terms of sitting down and creating SOPs of this is how I pass the baton to you, right? So it's a crazy type of like environment we're in right now, but brokers as well, like it's intensive. You're doing a lot, right? That's why a lot of the processors are not good in the brokerage world. The ones that do really well are really, really busy because they're understanding all the different dynamics of doing loans with these different investors.
With this question, you touched on it a little bit, but how important do you think speed has become?
Speed is everything in life. It's how we're conditioned now. Speed to need, speed to just success is super important. Getting a mortgage now is like applying for a credit card. Think about it, like we've gotten so transactionalized and commoditized from a home loan. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800,000 on a loan that people treat like a credit card loan. That's their mentality, is like, why is this so difficult? For most loans, right? Especially your standard, conventional, things like that. And so in this market, you have to have three things. You have to have speed, you have to have strength in the marketplace in terms of your competitiveness for rates and terms, and you gotta have great service. Those things will never ever change, because what's gonna have you stand out is how fast and simple you can take someone from point A to point Z. I have a big saying, right now, your ladder has to be on the right wall. That's your company. Your company better have the right technology and the right mentality of like speed and velocity. Everybody in your corporate company, corporate department should be like fast. How fast can we get this done? No one has time for bureaucracy in this marketplace. Second thing is, it's your community. Who's actually climbing the ladders up with you? Because they're the ones that are quickly getting in control of trends and things like that and moving forward. And lastly, which we'll talk about, is coaching. Who is holding your ladder up, right? But speed in terms of how you learn, speed in terms of how fast you implement, speed in terms of how fast you get to the lead, speed in terms of how fast you execute that lead, speed is everything. But simple is the soul of speed. You cannot overcomplicate it. That's the marriage between the two. Simple. You gotta know how to create a beautiful process from end to end, and it's gotta be simple. I see too many people put too many like fancy little bells and whistles. And guess what happens? Fancy fails, simple scales. Simple is the soul of speed. It can't just be simple. It's gotta be effective.
It's something that I can apply, you know, and even my position as not a loan officer and account executive, but something that I can also apply, you know, simple and speed. Regarding non-QM, I know you coach many of the top loan officers, coming up loan officers. You know, these deals can maybe be a little more complex due to paperwork. Do you have any tips for our brokers to stay ahead of that? Like, how can they handle maybe new programs, new knowledge, products on the market?
A lot of you brokers watching this, you're too insecure. You think every loan is a loan. So you waste your time and all your energy working on a loan that takes 20 hours. For what? Take that 20 hours, go get another better loan. That's the answer right there. So some QM loans, non-QM loans are not made for you to do. Understand it quickly, right? And know that even if you do that, then guess what's gonna happen? They're then not good at setting expectations because you're so weak, and they don't know how to have uncomfortable conversations and set expectations. And expectations without agreements are toxic. So they know how to set expectations. They're very pleasing. And then what happens? The loan hits a bunch of bumps. Now they're calling you as the account executive, get nasty with you. Then they call the processing. Why is this not closing? So the power of no. They got to say no more to some non-QM loans. They got to know what their niche is and what their sweet spot is. So that's probably not the answer you were looking for, but it's a mindset thing. Not every loan is there for you to do.
Even as an account executive, there are times I have to say no to scenarios, to not offer the exception because I know it's something that either I'm not interested, the company might not be willing to do, or it's something that looks like it may default, right? So saying no, I feel like still will keep that relationship though, because it's me being honest. They see I know what I'm talking about. They see that I'm willing to give them the truth rather than string everyone in the deal along and waste everyone's time.
So discernment in business is one of the highest skills one can have. Now, let's say they do take a non-QM loan on, right? Some of them are, within their wheelhouse. A lot of them have to leverage AI. I'm shocked how some of these brokers are not using ChatGPT to build their guideline library. Like A&D Mortgages guideline, they should create a folder. They upload all the rate sheets, whatever they need to do, the guidelines. Step up, acquire better tech skills, acquire better marketing skills, sales skills, ops skills, finance skills. Gotta level up. Part of that is AI. So when you sit there, AI has a customized, section for you to understand all the loans you're running by it based on the investors that you're working with. And then you can say, wow, I've just augmented my brain through this technology to know upfront that I do my 4 C's the right way: cash, credit, capacity, and collateral analysis. Have I done that quickly? I think I can get this loan done. And then you set the expectations. Either it's a yay or a no, nay. And then you get the loan, set the expectations, package it right, communicate accordingly, and then you get it done.
AI is very important to A&D. Actually, our broker portal that we have set up is integrated with AI. We have an AI guidelines assistant on our website. We have an AI income calculator for full doc loans where you can upload K1, Schedule Cs, Schedule Es, and then it goes through a real person after just to double check that AI's work. From what you've seen on a day-to-day level, what are some habits that maybe stand out to you or that you can suggest that are going to be positive and really life-changing to our partners?
I think everybody has to remember there's a difference between how good you're doing and how long you're doing good. There's a difference between high achievers and high performers. I was a high achiever for a long time. I've done whatever it took to win within bounds and ethically, but it came at the cost of my relationships, my health, and these things. There's a lot of low achievers running around, right? But there's a lot of high achievers running around. So what does this mean? Specifically, right? Everybody has to invest in their PEMS, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual state. The habits, first and foremost, right, have to start with the people you're choosing to hang out with. So your people are going to be a major success testimony. Harvard did a study on this for years, and they said the number one indicator of success is your reference group. And I speak Farsi. I'm originally Iranian, and we have a lot of beautiful sayings. One of them that my mom used to always say is, Amir, you can't put a white glove in dirt and think the dirt's going to turn white. The glove is going to turn dirty. I'm like, Mom, whoa, chill out. What does this mean? When I was young, she goes, be careful who you hang out with, because you're going to be them. If I want to be a successful loan officer, I'm around successful loan officers. So step one is habits. Your habitat creates your habits. If you are looking to be successful in the mortgage business, hang out with successful people that are both successful offline and on and during the business, right? High performance, what does it mean? So the habits every day. At the end of the day, it's how you start your day. Everybody watching this is sit down and create a nightly ritual. What am I doing before I go to bed, right? You're checking emails, you're watching CNN/Fox, you're doing that crap before you go to bed, you're not gonna wake up good. So we gotta make sure our nightly routine is good. When we wake up, my challenge for everybody is wake up earlier. You need 2 hours in the morning for deep work. What is deep work? You're waking up, you're filling your mind with good stuff, consuming, reading the right books in the morning, 15, 20 pages a day. This is the most important thing in our engine, Serena, these mental mechanics. This is the engine. I fill it up with productive things every morning. Then I work on projects every morning. I work on the business. I do deep work before I do shallow work. Then I'm off to the gym. Then I time block during the week, all my golden time. When's my time with God? When's it things for me? My hobbies. I do a basketball lesson and a golf lesson, because every man should have hobbies they're pursuing. It's important for their creativity, right? I have my chiropractor. I want to take care of my health. Like, I see some of these loan officers, you're 40, but you look like you're 60, man. So I put systems around me. I have my therapist. Then I do my date night with my wife, because that's my number one important client in life. Your most important decision is your life partner. The second is your loan partners. I believe there's 4 big rocks every great loan officer has to do right now. I'm really big. Every loan officer should have 1,000 realtors that see you on either Facebook, IG, or you have 1,000 of them subscribe to your email newsletter. You got to be seen before and after you're known, liked, and trusted. So you got to come in the morning and sell with your fingers. 30 minutes, go on different realtors' posts, heart, comment, add the friend. And every day you put one piece of content out that educates your audience. Dude, you cannot avoid social. Second thing is you got to sell with your mouth. I want you to pick up the phone. It's not a cactus. It ain't gonna prick you. Pick up the phone, call people. And I have themes on what they're supposed to do. You're not loan officers, man. You're people officers. You want more loans? You got to understand people. I don't study loan products. I study people. I know how to build rapport. I'm always connecting. I'm always curious. I'm always closing, and I'm always cool with people. And I build a massive audience, and I say, I'd be honored to get your next loan. So they got to sell with their mouth. Then in the afternoon, they got to sell with their feet. Got to have lunch with someone. Those are the 3 things they got to do every day. They got to get a time block around their physical requirements and their business requirements. A long answer, but it's a big question.
Yeah. So, Amir, what are parts of a work day that you think just eat up time? It's just a waste. Maybe some of our brokers are doing it, our partners, and they just don't even realize what they're doing is just eating up their time.
Everybody talks about time is money, what they make a year, and I want you to divide it by 2,000 hours. That's your hourly rate, okay? That hourly rate, I want you to multiply that by 25%. So if you make $100 an hour, anything that you're doing that you can pay somebody else $25 an hour, you should not be doing that. So let me break this down for you a little more in the mortgage term. Every loan officer should think, what are my LVTs, not LTV, LVT, low value tasks? What are my HVTs, high value tasks? Processing paperwork, structuring loans, checking email, onboarding your leads. Those are not high value tasks. I'm sorry, they're not. You can pay somebody else to do that, 80% as good as you, which is 100% awesome. And now you do what you are made to do, which is to show up and sing, not move the piano and the microphone, right? Because guess what's gonna happen? Eventually, you're gonna outgrow that, right? You'll do the loans, and if you can't go on vacation and get sick and not have to pick up your phone when you're at a kid's soccer game, you don't have a business. So all these brokers, brokers are better. You guys are making all this money. You can't take half of a loan and go hire somebody? That's your leverage. That's the most powerful word in entrepreneurship is leverage. They're doing these things throughout the day, so it's not only the managing their time, it's sucking their energy. It's energy suck by doing these things. You gotta delegate first your hands, all the admin work. Then you gotta delegate part of your brain, right? Which is you get a licensed loan officer assistant that's like your nurse, helps you structure loans, help you manage the phones, right? Help you update pre-approval letters, manage the pipeline. I see a lot of brokers not ever sit down because a lot of them are happy doing their 2, 3 little piddly loans, pardon my French, right? And they stress everybody out. But the ones that are really, really good, they'll go out there and say, I need an exchange. I need somebody else because it's also my sanity. Because they're not realizing it. They keep doing those things that don't fulfill them in the mortgage business. It's gonna burn them out.
So speaking of burnout, what's a good way, or many good ways, when brokers and loan officers, they're juggling deals, right?
I think at the end of the day, they don't know how to say no to certain leads. They think they wanna like take a pig and make it fly. So it's upfront. The mentality is not every lead that I get is worth working on. How can I say no? Because a lot of that stuff that takes up their time is stuff that shouldn't even be in the pipeline. They work from a place of insecurity. So first they gotta deflect what doesn't work. And if they're good at technical skills, they should know. Some of the newer brokers, they're gonna have to cut their teeth, because I did. You don't know what you don't know. But that's again goes back when you have a great company. You can ask other loan officers, hey, I need your help to look at this. They'll tell you, dude, let me have you pay less of a dump tax. I've done this loan, it ain't gonna work. But then they go through life learning on somebody else's time, right? So then they do these loans. So first is discern immediately up front, is this a deal or not? And set the expectation. So you're not scrambling later. From there, if it is a deal, you're only going to go so far after 3 to 4 to 5 loans without an assistant. I'm sorry. If you do more than 5 loans without an assistant, you're 100% affecting somewhere else in your personal life, right? And you're gonna have a lot of roller coaster months because you're playing tennis by yourself. You're serving, and you're running around, hitting the ball, you're running around, hitting the other ball. So first is discernment. Second is you gotta get a point where you have an assistant to take that stuff off you.
So Amir, tech promises to make things faster. Some struggle with it and some really thrive with it. What's your opinion on that? I feel everyone should thrive with it and everyone needs it. So what is your opinion?
The fax machine changed a lot of things. Electronic mail, email changed a lot of things. Paperless changed a lot of things. Right? To be successful in this post-pandemic world, you have a mandatory requirement to understand how to use tech. The mortgage industry traditionally is based on their loan origination system, software. It's the manufacturing. That's not gonna cut it anymore, right? So you have 2 parts of the process for tech skill acquisition, right? On the back end, which is the easiest, you got your LOS, right? You got a CRM, okay? You have to also have what's called a LPM, lender presentation management, because the future home buyer, these are a lot of millennials, right? They don't want you to present to them with spreadsheets. Some of them do, most of them want you to present in crayons, right? Your presentation goes a long way, so how you present to them, doing a screen share in Encompass is not gonna work. So you have to have that trifecta in place. So you have to have a modern tech stack to deliver a wow experience, both externally and internally. And lastly, above all, right, is AI, right? Like ChatGPT, I'm just like shocked how some people don't use that. Like it's a cheat code, legit a cheat code. I have loan officers, right? They're young, progressive. I love these guys. They're the ones that use ChatGPT to help structure loans. They're like, here's all my investors, A&D Mortgage. They upload all the guidelines for each investor, right? They prompt ChatGPT. I'm a residential loan officer. That's a mortgage broker. So I have the ability to put loans in different investors. Can I upload all their guidelines? And you can create me a fully filed cabinet section, and I can start sending you scenarios and you can help me structure them. Enter. Yes, I will do that. You will act as my digital underwriter. Understand? Enter. Yes. This is some of your people watching. This is like you back in the day, some of you old crusty guys watching this. Fax machine, oh my gosh, it's working. You know, step up, man, let's go. Some of you executives watching this, some of you, come on, man, let's go.
So to close us all out, on this tech conversation, what's one thing that we could give our partners to improve?
Persian food, kebabs, rice.
ChatGPT. What's one thing we could give our partners starting tomorrow that they can do to change their business when they wake up? I was going to say the date, and I blanked on the date.
Join coaching. It doesn't have to be with my company. I'm in a stage of abundance. The day I decided to become a coach, I listened to what God wanted for me. In life, there's a job, career, and a calling. Shout out to my greatest mentor, Todd Screamo. I asked him, how do you know if it's a calling? He said, because he keeps calling you. So the one thing they can do, go find someone that you would trade places with in the mortgage business that has the results that you want. Ask them questions, do what they say. That's the fastest way you'll succeed in this business and in any business. Life is short, man. So I go find the best in everything and I make an investment in myself. I'm my biggest investment. How can I constantly put things in myself to fast track, right? It's the bottom line. And if you don't have the money to invest in coaching, dude, being shy is expensive. Pick up the phone. Call your best loan officer in the company and said, hey, I'd love to learn from you. Whatever, from time to time, can I ask you questions to help me? Go invest money in your craft right now, every day, from the people that have the results, and watch your results go way through the roof. Get your career degrees, is what I say.
Well, thank you for being here today, Amir. Truly valuable information. It was so great meeting you. Thank you from me and from all of our viewers.
A&D Mortgage, thank you for having me in the house. It's an honor to be here. I'm an honor and privilege to support LO Nation, and you guys can check me out on social at Amir Syed. You need anything, you just reach out to me, you DM me. I'm here to serve you. Let's go.
Productivity is about structure, priorities, and making the right moves at the right time. With tools like self-disclosures, non-QM AUS, and our CRM leader in our AIM portal, you're able to provide a real strategic advantage with our speed. So I have one question for you. What's one thing in your daily routine that you would change to boost productivity? Be sure to let us know in the comment section. As always, thank you for joining me. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.